guys, we're back. It's been a couple of years, but normally you would see me doing motorcycle content, and trust me when I tell you that's coming. I have been off a bike for a while, and I'll go into those reasons later, but today we're going to be talking about something different. But I wanted to just throw this in there. I wanted to give a really good review. I think a lot of people go out and review cars and they drive them for a week and they just give you first impressions. It's August of 2026. I've owned this car a year and I've got a year's worth of miles on it, so I'm going to give you an honest review. I'm expecting comments, questions, and all of that. At the end of the day, just take a listen. Give me 15 minutes of your time, and I think I can help you make a good decision about whether you should or should not buy a Chevy Trax. So stick around and stay tuned. Thanks. I don't know. We probably ought to figure that out. I think a lot of people would be surprised. As someone who has owned 50 cars over his lifetime, I bought a Trax. Now, just to give it some context, I want to tell you what model I bought and why. So I've got the sticker. It is a 2025 Trax, Chevy Trax, with the 1LT package as it sits and as it comes from the factory. The only thing that was added as a package was nothing. I had $0 in total options, with destination charge of $1,395. The total MSRP was $24,095. $24,095. Okay, so let's talk about it. I just filled up. Well, I didn't really fill up. I put 10 gallons of gas in. I think it's a 12-gallon tank. And the nice thing is there's not a lot to this car. Okay. And when I say there's some things that are shocking in a good way, I'm amazed. Absolutely amazed. The first thing I'm gonna tell you about is the trip, the trip settings and all of that. So I have 12,306 miles on this car, and I've owned it 1 year. I bought it in August. When the day I bought it, or in the first couple days, I bought it in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I drove it back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That was 1,000 miles. Last Thanksgiving, I took a road trip and added 3,400 miles on top of that, and then I took another small trip. I've got about 5,000 miles worth of just like road trips, probably encompassing about a week. Okay, I only drive maybe 500 to 600 miles a month after that because I work from home and I don't have a whole lot of issues. But some of the things that stand out are the gas mileage. My average, and as it's telling me, and sorry, I'm also driving too while I'm doing this video, but my average over the 12,000 miles is 32 miles to the gallon. 33.2. Now let's just explore that for a little bit, because hey, when I'm on the highway and I'm going on a road trip, I'm going 75 plus at times. And so let's just talk about performance. You would think that a vehicle with a 3-cylinder motor made in South Korea, we'll come to that later, but this is a 3-cylinder motor with a little turbo, and I will tell you that it makes no noises. It is smooth. This particular series does not have the CVT transmission like earlier models. I believe that it's the 6-speed that came out of the V6 Camaro. I could be wrong. For those of you who know this stuff better than me, and that's practically everyone, put it in the comments. Tell me what it is. But what I'm getting at is it shifts incredibly smooth for front-wheel drive. Even if you live in areas where there's heavy snow, if you're in an area where there's heavy snow, there's probably heavy snow removal. So I can tell you, with a good set of winter tires, you're probably not going to ever need all-wheel drive in a vehicle like this. If you're just going to the grocery store, the gym, friends' houses, community, you know, within a 10-mile, 15-mile radius of where you live, you should be fine. And the only way to get all-wheel drive is to go up to the Trailblazer, which was like $3,000 more money. Whatever. The fact of the matter is, there's not another new car on the market that performs like this car for that kind of money. Now, let's talk about interior space. It's actually plenty. I like this huge center console that pops open. You have plenty of room to put larger drinks or a large Stanley in here. Some Stanleys are probably not going to fit in here. This is just a normal 20-ounce tumbler, but you can get 2 of them in there, and you can set something in between. It's simple. It's just air conditioning, dual zone. I take that back. It's not dual. Yeah, it is dual zone. Radio. The maintenance screen, so you can get your trip information, your fuel economy, your gauges, coolant temperature, battery. You can do your trip as well, and then maintenance, tire pressure, oil life, and so on. And you can take these little clusters and put them on your dash. For example, tire pressure right now is on my dash, as you can see right here, and I can remove it from the cluster and it's gone. That kind of stuff. Pretty simple. Other than that, a really nice controls on the steering wheel, answering the phone, hanging up, shifting the view on your dash, cruise control, and so on. So back seat, yeah, I mean, back seats are down right now, a lot of room. This cover is really nice, and it is removable. I think that's about it. I mean, why don't I just take some shots of the outside? So you guys, was going to show you the shop towel that's laying on the dash. It's because the back of the head, or the main display in the front, has like a stainless steel back to it, and it gets to be about 7,000 degrees. And I'll go over my final thoughts on the car here in just a second. Yeah, look, it is utilitarian. It is better than basic transportation. When I was, one of my first cars was a 1982 Ford Escort 2-door coupe. Little 4-banger with a hand shaker, no air. And if you don't know what a hand shaker is, it was a 4-speed manual shift. No radio, no air conditioning. I didn't know if my dad was doing something solid for me or grounding me. But is it the sexiest car on the road? You know, no, not really. It's just decent looking. It just looks like every other car out there. And I'll pop the trunk here. Pop the trunk. You know, golf clubs underneath this big old platform spare. You can fit a lot down in there too. I probably should be moving a lot of this stuff to down there, but it is what it is. And now the Trax, however, It's got a tow capacity of like 1,500 pounds. And I don't suggest towing much of anything. So let's move on to the positives. The 1LT package has all the things that you need. You can connect your phone with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to a really nice, I think it's 7.5-inch screen. Let's flip it around. There's the fuel economy over here. You can click the maintenance buttons. And I'll tell you what, this dash, it's touchy, but it doesn't really do a good job. But it'll tell you, 32.9 gas mileage for 12,200 miles. So there were a few miles on it when I got it at the dealership. Tells you what maintenance, tells your tire pressures and all of that. And honestly, that's really all you need. I was looking for a car that didn't have a lot of technology. Bang. I mean, does not have a lot of technology. It has OnStar. I'm not paying that for OnStar. The radio is actually very loud. I think it's 6 speakers. The 2 back seats fold down. You can put a set of golf clubs in sideways if you're, unlike me, things stuffed in the side cubbies, but whatever. I'll do a walk around of the vehicle for you. But back to the Trax. Power windows, power door locks, cruise control works awesome. A package upgrade for that would be the cruise control that monitors the car in front of you. I can't remember what that's called, and I don't really care to ever know because I don't really care about that. I believe air conditioning. I swear you could hang meat in here. This thing is so cold. It's a small area, same size air conditioning. Power mirrors. The car has auto start as part of the LT package, and you can change it so that when you lock your car, it doesn't beep the horn or it doesn't flash the lights. It does have a switch right next to the gear selector where you can turn off the auto stop, which means when you come to a stoplight, the car shuts down, you take your foot off the brake and it starts back up. That's annoying as all hell. I would vote for anybody who can get that through Congress so we can stop this bullshit about how much oxygen we're killing in the atmosphere sitting at a stoplight. Let's talk about highway speeds. Air pressures for the tires in this car run about 35 and 36. I run them at 38, and I traditionally drive a little bit faster, and this car handles amazing. As far as getting on and off of a highway with a small 3-cylinder, the cruise control just takes over at, I'll say, 85. It's fine. And it's not any louder or anything else. It's very comfortable. Seats are very adjustable. I've had a lot of cars with leather seats, a lot of cars with cloth seats. These are really comfortable. And you got plenty of USB ports, and it's got a cigarette lighter option, so for God's sakes, you go buy a $3 plug-in charger, whatever. I mean, look, it's not a Cadillac. The Cadillac, if you're looking for basic transportation, maybe a car for your first-time driver in your family. Yeah, great idea. So at 12,000 miles and 1 year on the road, I am astoundingly happy at what this thing does. It doesn't have any rattles. It doesn't make any noises. And I don't have anything to worry about. And I'll go over my final thoughts on the car. I love this little car. It's perfect for every application that I have. And if I need to tow something, I'll go find another vehicle or whatever. Thanks for watching. I've got to go talk to some people about some golf clubs, and I'll get out of here.